or lease from rules in the morning.
Hello and welcome to Paratalk with the East Tennessee Ghost Seekers. Paratalk podcast contains explicit language, scary content, and adult humor. Parental discretion is advised.
It's time, once again, to join the East Tennessee Ghost Seekers for Paratalk. A wide-ranging, open discussion covering everything from UFOs to psychic phenomena, cryptozoology, to paranormal encounters. Do you have a question? Or perhaps you have an experience to share? Email us at etgsparatalk@gmail.com or call 865-264-0448. That's 865-264-0448. And now, here's your host, Stephen Brown, with fellow ETGS members Steve Wiseman, Andrea Brown, Jesse Arms, Elsie Adams, and me, Mike Howard. Sit back, relax, and open your mind. It's time for Paratalk.
Hello, and welcome to Paratalk. We are back after a little delay in podcasting for a week.
We're back.
Yes, we are.
And we're sorry about that.
Yeah, but I mean, we had a good reason for not being here last week.
We did.
Yeah, we had the grandbaby last week.
Yes.
I know.
After so long.
Yes, we have not seen her since
March.
Yes, since all this bullshit took
I know.
over. So, but yeah, we're back. And we're glad to be here, and we hope you guys are as excited to have us back as we are to be back.
I don't think that's possible.
I know.
I don't know. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't think they can be as excited
I
as
know.
we can. Yeah. But,
Super excited.
you know, there's been a lot of shit happen since we were gone. But, you know, we can rest easy because they finally got that gun-toting Yosemite Sam off the streets.
Oh my God.
I thought it was Elmer Fudd.
Him too.
Him too.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my
But,
God.
yeah, so they raise a big stink, and, you know, they have to remove all these guys from the cartoons that we grew up with. But it's okay to have your 9, 10, 11, and 12-year-olds to play Grand Theft Auto and shoot hookers in a bathroom.
I mean, how
And
long?
run 'em over
seriously,
and
though,
run 'em over.
Everything
how long,
else.
How long has it been since Elmer Fudd's carried a gun and he still hasn't killed that wascally wabbit?
He will never.
He's never going to get the rabbit.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's never going to kill that
He's
wascally
just a horrible
rabbit.
shot.
He is. He's a bad shot. and he feels
And
sorry.
apparently
for
a bad person since he
Yeah.
was carrying a gun.
it. Yeah. But, you know, he's off the streets now, so everyone can rest easy.
So glad.
Yeah. I was so worried about
was-
Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam.
I mean, top on my list right there. I was afraid of them.
Yeah. That's why I lock my doors at night.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because of
I'm
Yosemite
always looking
Sam.
for anvils.
Oh, dude, right?
Always looking for an anvil to drop out of the sky.
Well, they'll be gone before long.
I know. It's
Yeah.
violent.
Yeah. They'll do away with Wile E. Coyote.
They're going to wrap everything and everybody in pillows and bubble wrap and throw feathers at them.
Roadrunner will be running around for days
I mean, I
and
know-
days and days without a break.
I know some
because
people
he
that
can.
need bubble wrap.
I do
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
They live in this house.
Yeah.
So, quick story before we get
That would
started.
be me.
No, this one isn't you. Last Saturday, we went out with Jesse and Kevin on their new pontoon boat.
I saw the pictures.
Yeah.
It looked like fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Except.
Except, you know, what, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours in.
No. Are you talking about the injuries?
Yes.
No, that was towards the end of the day. It was fortunate. It was towards the end of the day.
All right. So we're sitting there. We're in this little cove. We had pulled up. And, we had ordered pizza, drove down to a boat dock, picked up the pizza, and went and sat in this little cove.
Living the
against the
life,
bank.
man.
Yeah.
Living the life.
Totally lake food, right?
Yeah.
I had a wrap.
She had a wrap. Yeah. She wouldn't touch the pizza.
Nope.
But so we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, Pepe, Jesse's little girl,
Yeah.
she comes up on the boat, and she's got
holding
tears
her
in her eyes,
hand.
holding her hand, and Jesse's like, "What?" She's like, "I cut my hand." So she looks, and she's got a nick out of her knuckle. You know,
You could-
where
Okay. Just a little.
It was, I mean, in baby hands, it was a gash.
Yeah, in baby hands, it was a gash, but it was a little nick out of her hand. Then, 10 minutes later, here comes Hayden. Oh my God! Oh my God!
The end of the world.
The end of the world. You thought he had done cut his damned hand off,
Oh, God.
but he had cut his pinky knuckle?
No,
No,
it was his
the first two knuckles
on his left hand. It was
Yeah,
his
his index
first hand.
finger and his middle finger. He had cut
On what?
on where you put the depth finder on the back of the pontoon.
Oh.
That bracket there. For some
Sharp
reason,
edges.
yeah, for some reason that was the spot on the
And-
boat that they wanted to play around.
And we found out on our way back, Xander had cut his foot.
Yeah.
It was like, are you kidding
What
me?
does Xander cut his foot on, though?
It was that part of the
Maybe.
maybe.
So
there
we
was
went-
a video. I think we have a
Yeah,
video.
there's probably a video somewhere on
Lord.
Facebook. But Xander, we found a rope swing. So the tree is slanted. And so they'd swim over to the bank, climb up the tree, and then jump and swing and jump into the water. Xander, graceful as he is, loses his footing, smacks the
Slides
tree,
down.
slides
Oh my
down the
God.
tree, and falls
Like
into
a
the
cartoon.
water. Just
Oh,
like a
so
cartoon.
much.
I mean, if it were a cartoon, it would be canceled right now because it's so violent.
Oh,
There was
my
a
God.
violent tree involved.
Yes, there's a violent tree involved, and there was blood. So it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was. So out of 5 kids, 3 were injured.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a record. Maybe y'all need to go just the adults next time.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. So get ready.
Yeah.
Just let me know when
Yeah.
ahead of time so I can take the day off.
Heck yeah. They're going tomorrow, but
I'm going to be
Yeah.
on the phones all day.
They're taking Hayden with them tomorrow.
Ah.
Yeah. So Hayden can try to get his Mac on with their daughter. Yeah. Little bow chicka wow wow.
yeah. Have you met Kevin?
Have they started holding hands yet?
No.
They haven't really even started looking at each other.
Yeah, because, we have Xander with
it's
us.
puppy love.
Oh, it is.
No,
It-
we have had Xander with us every time. And so Xander has to be center of attention and
Yes.
put Hayden
Yeah.
down in front of her. So, being that bully big brother.
Yeah.
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 Xander's cartoon would be, canceled as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd just
But-
be canceled.
Yeah.
Period.
There's that wascally dog out there going on.
Too bad Elmer ain't got his gun anymore. I would never shoot my dog.
Very, very quiet.
So,
I'm hunting chihuahuas.
That was good.
all right. Well, how about we get on with some introductions?
Hey, you remembered.
Look
Look
at
at
that.
that.
All right. So, from Paratalk, I'm Steven. Steven of Paratalk.
Hi, Steven.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
And I'm great. And welcome to my rectangle table.
It is a rectangle table.
It is.
Yes.
For now.
Ooh.
Updates to come. To my left, weighing in it,
A buck 05.
I was waiting.
mean as a wet hornet. And she is our birthday girl this week.
I know.
Yeah, woo woo.
Welcome to the show, Miss Andrea Brown.
Hello, hello, hello.
How are ya?
Lovely.
Awesome.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, and to my right, my sister from another mister.
Oh, it's me.
That's you, Miss Amy Sharp. Welcome.
Hello.
All right. All right. So, now you know all
That's
this.
some super pumped intro music, man.
No, the super pumped intro music we can't play while we're live.
That's true.
Because,
True.
We get blocked, yo.
yeah, if you didn't notice, I only noticed it on Facebook.
Yeah.
But
I noticed that too, and I was like,
yeah.
those bastards.
Those
Yes.
dirty bastards at Facebook.
How dare they?
I wonder
So-
if you had put it up with a discllaimer that says, we don't own any of the rights to this
You know,
music.
we've done that.
Because people get away with that all
They
the time.
do, but we've done that once before.
And it got,
And they still
yeah,
muted us.
They still muted it.
Those rat bastards.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Yeah, so,
Commies.
So you guys
They're
that
so
were listening to
prejudiced.
the stream 2 weeks ago, you know, during the break, I played a copywritten song, and Facebook muted it once I posted the podcast. Just during that part. you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, and I understand that, and I figured it would happen. I'm surprised the other podcast platforms didn't mute it, because they didn't. Because I can go on there and I can listen, and
Don't
Yeah.
say
Don't
anything
don't give them
else.
any ideas.
Oh,
yeah,
Steven, shut up,
they're
dude.
probably listening now. That shit's gonna get muted now.
You did.
Son of a bitch.
Open that big old mouth of yours.
You know, it happens.
A lot.
A whole lot. All right. So, well, that was pretty good. Exactly 15 minutes and 10 seconds now. But, so this week we are talking telekinetic energy and all the other kinesises.
Kinesises.
The kinesis.
Kinesi?
Kinesi? Kinesi? Kinesis?
Plural kinesis, whatever that is.
Multiple kinesis.
Yes. All different types of kinetic energy. How's that?
I like it.
Okay.
It's very technical.
I'm a technical kind of guy.
That is true.
This is so true. So true. But, yeah, so you came to me with this idea.
I did.
Yeah. I don't know why. But
Me either. It's been 2 weeks because I had this ready last week.
Yeah. But
Fair enough.
yeah. And it actually worked out good because last week we didn't have time to prepare everything for it.
True that.
So, you know, had the baby and didn't get to do the podcast. So hopefully this week we'll be, you know, a little more prepared.
Just a little bit.
Let's hope. All right.
Just a tiny bit.
Real quick before we get started, let's say hey to some of the people we got here in the chat room. We have Rodent Restaurant.
Hey, Rodent.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Hockey Man.
Of
Welcome back,
course.
Hockey Man.
Welcome back.
And Hockey Man told me that he was going to be sporting his new ETGS
Heck yeah.
shirt during his poker game tonight.
That's right, Hockey
Awesome.
Man.
All right. And we have Ruthie. Welcome, Ruthie. I haven't seen you in the chat room before, so welcome, and we hope you enjoy the podcast.
Yes.
And if you have any questions at any time during the podcast,
Speak up.
speak up. Or if you have a story that you want to share with us and everyone else, just hit one of those call-in buttons at the top and call in and share your story with us. The only thing we ask is that you wear earbuds. So we don't hear our voice coming back at us.
We don't like to hear ourselves talk.
No, it makes me sound like a stuttering fool when I try to talk over myself.
You mean you don't normally sound like that? You know I love you.
Yeah.
We also have Sean. Thanks for joining us, Sean. And we have Allie Max and Chance Hall.
Welcome,
Nice.
Welcome,
everyone.
everybody.
All right. Let's get into this.
So excited.
So, Andrea,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit.
Tell me a
About-
story.
Hey, Hockey Man, it's my usual Smirnoff seltzer.
All right.
Just so you know.
So, you know, all of us have heard of telekinesis, and most of us have heard of pyrokinesis.
Yes.
But there's a lot more than just those.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Actually, there were more than this, too. And I was just like, well, there's no way.
Okay, so give us a rundown on these. I mean, we're not going to discuss every one of these because we don't have that much time. But
Oh, we have all kinds of time.
we have all kinds of times, but we have a lot of stuff to discuss tonight.
That's true.
All right.
So, we have Telekinesis or psychokinesis, which is an alleged psychic ability allowing a person to influence its physical system without physical interaction.
Always wanted to be telekinetic.
Right.
Always.
Pyrokinesis, the purported psychic ability allowing a person to create and control fire with the mind.
Think Firestarter.
Right.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Yes.
Firestarter. I love Drew Barrymore was what, 7, 8 years old when she was in
Yeah,
that
she
movie?
was that before or after E.T.? I think that was before E.T.
I've never seen E.T.
I know.
Yeah. We had this discussion this week. Yeah, I've never seen E.T. And apparently it's on.
I am shooketh. I am
know.
shaken.
It-
You have got to see it.
Yeah, it's on Netflix
Yes.
this month.
Yes,
so
it is.
I will probably check it out.
Trust me, and Steve have already talked about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
You've
Hockey
got
Man
to.
said it was after.
Okay, yeah, it was after. I've read the book too. The book is fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's one of Stephen King's earlier movies that they actually really pulled it all together and made a great movie out of.
Right. All right. Aerokinesis. The purported psychic ability allowing a person to control the weather and create strong gusts and windstorms, also known as airbending.
Very cool.
I like it. Like Storm.
Yeah. And,
I want to be an
and-
airbender.
And isn't there like a actual like cartoony thing called
Yeah,
Airbender?
it's
or
the
something?
last Airbender.
Yeah.
I've seen the ad for it. I've never actually seen it.
Yeah. Atmokinesis, also known as weather manipulation, is one of the most powerful abilities in existence where one can control and manipulate the various forms and aspects of the weather itself.
Nice.
Creating storms, that'd be kind of cool. Biokinesis, a method used to change or alter the DNA of a person to make physical changes in the body. It is the use of kinetic energy to rearrange or control genes inside of the body.
Neat.
Well, that's kind of trippy,
Yeah.
right?
I'd also like to be this next one too.
Chronokinesis.
Yes.
The anomalistic ability to mentally alter time. Ooh,
Would that not be amazing?
that would be pretty cool.
You could just go back and
Right?
change all the bad decisions you've ever made.
Yeah, but would you actually learn anything from that?
Probably not.
True. Then again, if you step right when you should have stepped left, you wouldn't be where you are today.
Very
So,
true. Very true.
I kind of like where I'm at.
Yeah, me too. Pyrokinesis. The psychic ability to slow an object's particles, causing a decrease in temperature. Thus, it is the ability to freeze objects or liquids.
It's kind of like Captain Cold on Flash.
Yeah. Or
Except he uses a gun.
Or that freezy dude on The Incredibles.
There's a freezy dude on The Incredibles?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Haven't you seen it?
No.
Or let's throw it back really old school. Dan and Jaina, the Wonder Twins.
Yes. Yes.
That was.
Yeah.
She's
pretty
over
back.
there
I'm
going,
like,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The look on her face just says it all.
They're from the Justice League of America.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Chlorokinesis, aka agrokinesis, botanokinesis, or phytokinesis, is the ability to mentally and or physically summon, control, and manipulate plants and vegetation. Poison ivy.
I am so proud of you. I almost had a tear pop up there just then.
I know. She pronounced everything really well and everything.
And she knew
you.
poison ivy.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm learning. Electrokinesis, the psychic power to manipulate energies, electrical currents, and generate electricity with the mind. That could be kind of cool.
That would be really bad for me during traffic. Because I'd be like, out, you mother.
Yeah.
I'm just going to fry your ass.
Like a bug zapper. I'm going to bug zap everyone.
That could be your superhero name. The human bug zapper.
The human
Yes.
bug zapper. That's Andrea's power.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Oh, God. That would be hysterical. That would be fantastic.
Then we have hydrokinesis, the ability to control and manipulate water in all shapes, sizes, and forms.
Aquaman.
Yes. Magnokinesis, a rare ability that users can generate, control, and manipulate magnetism in all its forms, whether it's natural, organic, or artificial. They can even create and control magnetic waves.
Magneto from the X-Men.
Yes.
Telling you, man. Photokinesis, the psychic ability to control light, which is electromagnetic radiation that is visible to the human eye and is emitted and absorbed in tiny packets called photons. Users can generate, bend, shift, focus, scatter, and or generally manipulate light to various degrees and effects.
And now we have Steve's favorite.
Yes.
Steven's favorite. I mean, you guys are like the Wonder Twins, so
Yeah.
I don't
That's
think
true.
it's just
They are.
two Steves.
That's
Yeah.
very true. Last but not least,
The one I'm going to be.
right?
Yes.
Omnikinesis, the ability to mentally control anything and everything that exists, organic or created, existing now or in the future, right down to the molecular level. This is quite possibly the most overwhelming and most powerful ability because it involves everything that tangibly exists without exception.
Yes. I want to control
Everything.
everything.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Because think about it. If you could control everything, you would suddenly start feeling responsible for everything.
That's true. It's true. Yeah.
I
So
just like
maybe
being
not.
responsible for me and my little piece of the world.
Right. Well, if I can control everything about me.
That'd be pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And Gretchen says that includes spoon bending with the mind. I remember that from The Matrix. And yeah, I mean, that's part of all of this. Yeah. So, I mean, kinetic energies have been brought up in everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just, the horror sci-fi stuff. It's a lot of sci-fi stuff.
It is a lot of sci-fi stuff.
Yeah. But I enjoy the shit out of it.
I do too. I've actually seen, when I was a kid, we were at a carnival somewhere and I saw somebody doing the spoon bending thing.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, there's no way I could figure out how they were doing it with anything other than their mind.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're up close and personal to somebody that's doing something like that and you see no other manipulation,
Yeah.
how do you explain that other than, telekinesis?
Exactly. And I could see no way. And I mean, I was like 9 or 10, so I had already gone through my magic phase and trying to learn magic, and I just don't have the dexterity for all that stuff. But I remember watching to make sure there was no, misleading or anything like that. And I just I couldn't see any way that he could possibly have done it without actually having that ability of telekinesis.
Mm-hmm. I mean, well, that's a lot with the sleight of hand magic. I mean, those guys, we watched there's a magician on Netflix right now. It's called Magic for Humans.
It is absolutely amazing. Highly recommended.
Yeah, this guy
2
is
thumbs
awesome. But the stuff that he does is like...
It's baffling.
You got to believe he's like, graduated from Hogwarts.
Nice.
Totally is.
This dude is amazing. But
I'll have to check it out. I've seen the ads for it.
you got to watch it. It is so... There's 3 seasons. There's like 6 or 7 episodes in each season. They're like 20 minutes long. It's amazing.
I'll have
Amazing.
to check it out.
Yeah. The one that I liked the best was, I think it was in the 3rd season where he went to the nudist colony.
Oh, that one was funny.
Yeah, because he's like, how can I hide anything if I have nothing to hide anything in?
Dude's doing magic
he's doing
in
magic.
the nude.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's blurred, but still, everybody's nude.
Yeah. So, there's no place to hide anything.
Blurry nude people.
And he's
Where's
still
the fun in that? Just show everybody what you got.
It was, just the concept of doing magic with absolutely nothing on. It was just kind of like, okay, that just added a whole nother level.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I might have to check it out.
It was so good. Moving along. Stephen is typing.
Yeah, I was responding to Gretchen there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she sent us a link to check out. So want to definitely check that out.
Yes.
Rando knots in dimensional travel.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the whole time travel thing that we've been talking on?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like.
Everything's connected.
Everything.
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 Okay, anyway.
I'm not even drinking.
Me either.
Me too.
We're just
Diet
naturally
Mountain Dew.
this
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah, Diet Mountain Dew.
All right. From here, we are going to talk about kinetic powers. And by the way, this is episode 65.
Woo, woo.
Yeah.
65.
65.
Yep.
That's a lot.
It's
Yes.
a lot.
Ugh.
That's pretty amazing.
Thanks for
And-
sticking in, with us guys. It's
I just want to give a shout out to Hockey Man real quick. Hockey Man had messaged me back a few months ago, back when we started doing the live streams.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he had found us during his commute, as a podcast to listen to. He listened to every single episode and got caught up.
That's amazing. I
Yeah.
haven't even done that.
Man, I need to give him
I haven't
this.
done that.
I'm going to have to find him an award.
Yes. Yeah.
Like this gold rock right here.
Yes. You can
That's got
send Hockey Man that
writing
gold
on it.
rock.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
can turn
You
that
would-
into the best listener award.
That is the best listener award. Yeah.
Found it.
Oh, that's it.
We just need a badge to hang
Yeah.
around. Yeah.
I'll make a badge.
Yep.
Hold on. Is Hockey Man still in the room? Or is he
I don't know. I don't
gone?
think he is. I
Yes.
think he has
Is
left.
he?
us.
I think he's still in. So
He's not responding to anything we
No.
say, so he must be
he may
like
be gone.
Or he's
Deep
drunk
in his
and already
cups.
passed out.
That's very possible too. All right.
Didn't make it to the poker game.
So go ahead, Amy, and you share some info.
All right. So, are telekinetic powers the next step in human evolution? The human mind is an amazing thing. 100 billion neurons make it impossible for us, or impossible.
Makes it impossible to do this.
Like I said, I'm not even drinking. I'm just here. It's been a long day. Okay, 100, let me start over. Start from scratch. 100 billion, that's a lot, neurons make it possible for us to walk, talk, think, create, build. The list is virtually endless. Human nature, meanwhile, inspires us to want more, to push the boundaries of brain power and discover new skills. Some of the most sought after of those skills include telekinesis, an ability that lets us interact with physical objects using only our thoughts. The hope for evolved human potential has spawned a host of pop culture characters. What is wrong with me?
Have you been smoking that shit?
I have not. I've been talking to morons all day, though.
Yeah, same thing.
It happens.
I feel
Yeah.
the dumb. I need the
It
brain.
rubbed off on you.
Can you imagine
If stupid rubbed off.
if stupid rubbed off on people? We would all be.
Don't fucking touch me. You're ignorant.
I wonder how many people would abide by the social distancing rules then.
I would hide from everybody all the time. I would live
Stay 6
in.
feet, you're so stupid.
I would live in one of those plastic bubble things that you can roll down a hill in.
What is that, a Zorby or something?
It's something like that.
That just gave me an idea for a new T-shirt. I'm gonna make one to put on the Paratalk store. It says "I was stupid" with an arrow pointing up.
Yes.
You guys can be looking for that.
Yes. Okay. Let's try again. The hope for evolved human potential has spawned a host of pop culture characters capable of wielding psychokinetic powers with both benign and deadly intent. From wise beyond her years, Matilda Wormwood and the aggrieved Carrie White, not to mention the entire Jedi Order. Telekinetic powers occupy a special place in the human cultural lexicon. The concept is also getting a signal boost thanks to 80s era TV hit Stranger Things and one of its powerful protagonists, 11. Heads up, this article contains spoilers. Could humans eventually evolve abilities like 11? I think yes. What is telekinesis exactly? Do documented cases already exist? What role does technology play in these possible next stages of human evolution? Read on or use your telekinetic abilities to instantly download the article into your brain, or just listen to us talk about it. Either way works, but if you choose the latter, do us all a favor and take some detailed notes on how you did it, because we want to know how you download.
Exactly.
Right?
I just don't want to have to like shove a thing up into my brain like in
I
Matrix.
thought she was going somewhere else.
Matrix. Get your mind out of the gutter, pervert.
It's like, yeah, what? What
Do
are
you know
downloading?
who you're talking to?
I
Good
know.
luck with that. Good luck with that.
I'm just happy it's just frick and not frick and frack tonight.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Heckle and Jekyll.
He would have been going with that for the next 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, he would have been
Yeah.
over here wheezing.
Yeah.
He would have been dying.
Yeah.
Okay. What is telekinesis? The term comes from the Greek words for mind and motion. At its most basic, telekinesis, also known as psychokinesis or PK, is the power to move objects with your mind. Strength often varies from user to user depending on the origins of their powers, training, age, and so on. As noted by Bustle, the character of 11 in Stranger Things is able to throw large objects, turn electronic devices on and off, break glass, and affect the bodily functions of other human beings. She's also able to access other dimensions, including the void and the upside down, which appear to overlap one another in time and possibly space, in a kind of multiverse configuration. The caveat? For most telekinetics, performing feats of mind over matter is incredibly taxing. Luke Skywalker struggled to lift his X-Wing out of Dagobah's swamp, though Yoda had no problem. Yoda was old and practiced, y'all.
skills.
He did. He had mad skills. And 11 gets nosebleeds whenever she pushes her limits. When we last saw the Stranger Things gang, 11 used her powers to close the portal between our world and the Upside Down, trapping the Mind Flayer on the other side and protecting the citizens of Hawkins. For its part, the Flayer looked on from its Upside Down domain, watching the snowball dance and keeping an eye on those meddlesome kids. While much of the show has focused on 11's personal development after her Hawkins lab breakout, she's also demonstrated considerable telekinetic evolution, suggesting that her powers aren't done developing. Sure, they're the result of unethical CIA experiments and sensory deprivation, but the groundwork is there. What if 11 is just a small screen... I don't know that word.
Simulacrum.
Simulacrum? Okay, small screen sample. There we go.
There you go.
Of powerful humans that have existed in hiding throughout history.
Mm.
Interesting.
Which kind of makes sense. I mean, if there were people with these telekinetic abilities that were just like all out there, I mean, it's kind of like aliens. They would probably be taken in almost immediately and being probed and whatnot. Just because people are curious. They want to know what makes them tick. So maybe there are more out there, but they're just scared.
Well,
Very
with our
true.
government, I sure as hell wouldn't advertise it if I could do any of this stuff.
Oh, hell no. No.
Which
it would be top
kind
secret.
of leads us, takes me back to the ones that we see on TV. If they really were like for real on this ability, do we really think they would advertise it like that?
No.
No.
So it's kind of like, that kind of lends you back to it. It's definitely an illusion.
You think?
Well, that's what I'm saying is, if somebody has that ability, do you think they're going to be flaunting it out into,
I don't think they're going to be flaunting it, but I do think that we probably all have the ability since we only use less than 10% of our brain.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. I think that it's the people that can do this, they tap into that extra
Yeah, something
spark
extra, something
that we don't,
higher than what we do.
that we haven't figured out how to do it yet. So,
But don't you think that if it was like a legit thing that people would be like poking them and prodding them.
Oh, but it's like you said, if you could do this, would you be doing it out in public? Would you be doing it out where that could get out?
No, that's what I'm saying.
So I went to school with a girl who, and I was in like the 4th grade. I don't even remember her name.
Was it Matilda?
It wasn't Matilda.
Oh.
But
she had the power to make her forget.
her pencil would roll back and forth across her desk with her not touching it.
Really?
Like, yeah. She
That's
would just be like
interesting.
chilling there and her pencil's just rolling back and forth across the desk.
Never
Rolled off the desk. Never, she never touched it. She wasn't blowing on it. Cause I was always the curious kid. I was looking at her like, what the hell? How is she doing? Cause I'm over there trying to do it, You're like,
move.
yeah. She wasn't like blowing. She'd be sitting there just watching the teacher talk and her pencil's just rolling back and forth.
Interesting.
So I think it exists.
Yeah. Oh,
I just want to
Gretchen-
know how to tap into it.
Gretchen said here in the chat room, look at the government's program with astral projection. This is even beyond telekinesis.
Yeah, it is.
So,
Dude, if you didn't check out, we had like a
we did a
podcast not too long
a
ago
couple
about
weeks ago,
about
or
that.
a few weeks ago about astral projection. Yeah, check that one out if you haven't listened to it.
I'll take this.
Sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to yawn.
It's okay.
You guys aren't boring, I promise.
Yeah.
It's been a long day. I understand.
God, my brain is like melted.
Okay.
It's like hot lava.
Are you ready?
I am.
Lava girl.
That just made me think of the bridesmaids. It's coming out of me like hot lava. Look away! Look away!
Don't do it.
Yep. She shit in the streets.
No. She was shitting in the sink.
Yes.
Right, but the other chick shit in the streets. Yeah.
You know, the fact that you remember part of that movie, it makes me proud.
Well, you've
It's
made
hysterical.
me watch it. You've
I
made me
know.
watch it 42 times.
It's funny. Okay, moving on. A brief history of mind magic. Spoiler alert.
Sorry, you're actually drinking over there.
Yeah.
Though. I don't have any excuses.
There's no documented evidence that telekinetic powers are real. A quick search will turn up hundreds of videos online, but they simply don't have the scientific rigor to offer anything of substance. As noted by neuroscience professor Mark Breedlove in a recent Earth Sky article, while Stranger Things does capture the 1980s government fascination with discovering human mind powers, real-life outcomes didn't match those of the show.
That they're telling you.
Exactly. No conclusive evidence was ever found to support telekinetic abilities.
That they're telling you.
Exactly.
That's what they want you to believe.
Exactly. Some well-known telekinetics, like Uri Geller, have gained infamy for using sleight of hand illusions to replicate mental powers, but this hasn't dissuaded telekinetic studies entirely. As noted by Live Science, researchers have shifted their efforts to micro-PK, which is the ability to affect very small objects or outcomes over time. Again, these efforts have been unsuccessful. For now.
For now. That they're telling you.
Exactly.
The next level.
I'll take it. Do you want-
Okay.
I'll take it.
You take it.
So maybe moving objects with our minds is out of reach right now. But what about in the future? Could the next stages of human evolution include PK abilities? From a purely biological standpoint, probably not. There's nothing in our environment that would compel that kind of evolution, and since we can't identify which genes, if any, might govern 11-type powers, attempting to modify genetic code would be unethical at best and incredibly dangerous at worst. But it's not all bad news. As noted by Psychology Today, technology could help bridge the gap between mind and matter by leveraging brain-computer interfaces to allow direct control over computers and other connected devices without the need for tactile or voice interaction. Some efforts focus on creating direct brain-device links to treat conditions such as blindness or paralysis, while others are developing thought-to-text solutions that allow users to instantly compose text or emails.
That's scary. Oh God, that's
no.
scary. Because
Please no, my face says enough.
Please know what's going through my mind never needs to be in an email.
Not at all. No, it's not exactly 11 closing the portal to the upside down, but remember, she started out crushing Coke cans in a hospital gown. Mind meld emails might seem unimpressive, but could pave the way for a brave new world of telekinetic powers. Bottom line, Stranger Things is a nostalgic treat, and 11 is amazing, but don't expect to follow her gray matter roadmap anytime soon.
That's disappointing.
It is, but please, I'm going to flip out if somebody actually does the thought to text, because we don't need to know what's going on up there. Mm-mm. Just saying.
No.
I mean, nobody needs that look into my head.
No.
I don't even need that look into my brain.
People would get lost up here.
Same.
Like
I get lost up here
it's
sometimes.
It's like a maze, man.
I get lost in my own mind sometimes. I mean, just saying. It's scary.
It is.
It's a frightening place.
This is scary. Kind of like upside down.
This is kind of fun. I'm just sitting back here in the background listening to you guys.
I think you should read the next one.
No, I can't. I don't have glasses. Sorry. No, I really don't.
Call bullshit. You left him out of here on purpose.
He always does.
No, they're actually in my truck.
He did that on purpose.
I had a test this week.
Excuses.
So I had to take them.
You know, I could probably go find a pair of Steve's
Did you
glasses.
pass?
With flying colors.
Of course. Yeah. It was my asbestos supervisor.
Of course you passed. Never mind.
Yeah.
That was a dumb question.
Yes.
He's supervising.
He's just super duper.
I try.
All right.
I try.
So, the definition of psychokinesis and telekinesis. Psychokinesis is the ability of a person to act upon an object or otherwise affect the outcome of a situation using the power of their mind. Telekinesis more directly relates to the movement of objects using the power of the mind, but psychokinetic powers may be used to manifest specific outcomes or events of just about any type. The Jedi in the Star Wars movies have mastered their psychokinetic powers to an impressive degree. Can anyone really do that stuff in our world? The answer is sort of, if you believe the existing documentation. Some researchers have produced incredible results with some very gifted subjects, but much of it has come under scrutiny. Of those individuals who claim to have such powers, few have been able to reliably duplicate it under lab conditions. The most impressive cases still draw suspicion from the scientific community. So what's the truth behind this phenomenon? Are psychokinesis and telekinesis real, or is it all a hoax? Is there any hope that the average person might develop these abilities, or is it just for the gifted? Will we get to the bottom of all this before the end of this article? Who knows? But let's give it a shot.
Worth a shot.
A brief history. History.
I love
A little
history.
history.
I love history.
Well, share some history with us.
I'm going to share some history with you.
Thank you.
Psychokinetic powers have gained a dubious reputation through history for obvious reasons.
She said doobie.
I said dubious.
I heard doobie.
I know you did.
Yes.
Brings back the good old days.
It does.
Makes me feel old.
Yeah.
Andrea's just over there making clouds while we're talking about the good times.
Yeah, she's...
Anyway, psychokinetic powers have gained a dubious reputation through a history for obvious reasons. Of course, throughout just about every religious text, there are examples of people and beings defying the physical laws of the universe, as there are in ancient legends of all sorts. Mystical features have done some wild things, and there lies the problem. Psychokinesis is thought of by most people as a paranormal happening, not as a scientifically measurable ability. Despite over a century of research, it still remains firmly planted in the realm of parapsychology. The word telekinesis, was first used in 1890 by Russian researcher and spiritualist Alexander Azakov, though he attributed it to more ghostly activity than psychic phenomenon. Azakov organized seances and wrote books on paranormal powers, as well as conducted research with several prominent mediums of the time. The term psychokinesis was perpetuated by parapsychology researcher J.B. Rhine in the early 20th century, though he did not invent the word. Rhine wrote books on ESP and other aspects of parapsychology.
I have ESPN.
Me too.
Carry on.
I don't. We're not that big into sports.
No, I can do things with my mind.
I changed the TV channel when she goes, Steven, change the channel.
No,
I mean, that
actually,
usually
no, I
works.
can't.
Yeah, he probably ignores it, huh?
I
He's like,
usually do.
the force does not work. The force does not work.
Yeah,
The force does not
he
work.
totally puts his force field up.
Yeah, I'm blocking you.
Shame on you.
I know.
That's
Swipe
your wife,
left.
man. Oh,
Wait, what?
that was wrong.
Excuse me.
When you tell me to change the channel, swipe left. You watch the same shit I do anyway. It's all right.
She's giving you the how do you know that reference look, but it's pretty pop culture. So,
Yeah, that's the only way I know it.
Take a drink.
How does he know pop culture?
I mean, there are a couple of teens in the house. He
Yeah.
watches TV.
I watch a lot of TV.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. Where the hell was I? Oh, wait. Here we go.
He
He conducted expansion. He conducted experiments on psychokinesis in the 1930s, testing his subjects' ability to affect the outcome of a pair of thrown dice. Some of his results were mildly impressive, and the experiment as a whole at least showed statistical promise. Unfortunately, many of his contemporaries were unable to replicate them, which severely reduced their potential impact.
he was like, boom.
So,
I mean, I'd be hitting up the craps table all the time if I could just affect the dice.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or blackjack.
Ooh.
Black.
We would be on My Lottery
never
Dream
played-
Home.
I know, right?
We would
You're
be. Yeah.
thinking
Roulette.
roulette, not blackjack, dear.
I've never played any of it. I've never been to a casino. Ever.
I have, but I was too young to play, so.
I've
Haven't
been
back since.
to, what's that called in Gatlinburg? Aunt Fanny's. That's as close to a casino as I've ever gotten.
Is that a casino?
No,
Oh.
it's an arcade.
Oh.
That's as close to a casino as I've gotten.
So she went down to the Joker's casino.
She went down to Fanny Farkle's,
That's it.
where they make the amazing, the bratwurst and all that. They
Yes.
cook all the
Yeah.
peppers and the
Peppers,
onions,
onions,
and
yeah.
they starve you
Yeah.
all the way down the road. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. That's where I've been.
Mm-hmm.
I did get lots of tokens, though.
Good job. Good job. You can do that at Chuck E. Cheese, too.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the food at Fanny Farkle's is
It's
better.
so much better at Chuck E. Cheese. Good God.
So true.
Nobody likes that cardboard pizza.
No. No. But they do have beer.
Now.
That would be the only way to get through Chuck E. Cheese as a parent.
Yeah. That's why they have beer.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
I used to love the animatronics, though.
Yeah.
They were so creepy. It was great.
I did when I was like 5.
Well, see, I remember back when it was Showbiz pizza.
Yes.
It was so much better as
Yeah,
Showbiz.
So,
It was.
so much better.
It
and
really
they had better
was.
pizza.
They did.
They did.
Of course,
I've
I
heard
was-
too many horror stories about Chuck E. Cheese from people who know people who've worked there. Like, instead of throwing away the leftover pizza.
Oh, they put it together with other pieces,
Yeah.
other pizzas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah.
Ugh. Anyway.
Okay.
moving along.
Evidence of psychokinesis.
All right.
Oh, he could read that.
It's in bold.
Excuses. Rhine's dice experiments involved dice thrown by hand from a cup and by a machine. The test was simple. Rhine would ask subjects to will the dice to land in a pre-specified configuration. After several attempts at one goal, he'd moved them onto a different configuration.
Now she's starting to struggle like me.
I'm really struggling, man.
The dumb is rubbing off.
Shut up.
About half a can gone.
After a few years, he had conducted over 500,000 dice throws and had sufficiently reviewed his data to publish a paper on his findings in 1943. Ryan concluded that there was likely a psychokinetic effect present in at least some of the cases. Later in 1970s, German researcher Helmut Schmidt would perform similar experiments, putting psychokinesis to the test using random number generators. Schmidt, too, decided his subjects were exerting at least some effect over the outcome of the numbers, suggesting a 1 to 2% success rate beyond chance alone. Throughout the 20th century, similar tests were held, some showing impressive results, indicating that psychokinesis is a real ability possessed by at least some people. Some of the most extensive work had been done at Princeton University at Princeton Engineering Anomalies Research Laboratory. In experiments conducted from 1979 to 2007, Princeton researchers found minute...
It spells pearl.
It does! I'm calling it Pearl from now on.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Princeton researchers found minute but tangible results when measuring the psychokinetic abilities of subjects. But minute is the key word. After nearly 3 decades in operation, the Princeton projects proved less than a 1% success rate as compared to random chance. They called this number significant, but many do not agree.
Okay, my thought on that, though, okay, like the dice and, picking a number, whatever. Anybody can guess.
It's all chance.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can guess.
Yeah, that's all chance.
I mean, I'm sorry, but those studies mean jack shit to me. Just because,
Well,
it's just like
a 1 to 2% success rate.
Right. So they had a lucky guess 1 or 2 times out of 100.
Well, so what he did, what Ryan did was by configuration. What they're talking about is when he would throw the dice, he would ask them to make sure it was one landed on a 4 and one landed on a 6, that kind of thing.
Right.
But you still have, I don't even know, I would have to look that up.
So
I don't
many
want to think
options.
about all the options that you have.
Right.
So there had to have been something in play for them to get a 1 to 2% increase over everything else.
Yeah.
I'll give that.
Yeah.
But the random number generator, not so much.
Yeah.
That's the freaking lottery. It's
even
a random number generator.
A blind squirrel will find a nut every now and then.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You smell it out.
Mm-hmm.
See, you want to smell out those dice?
I am.
It smells like
It's a 2.
It smells like cheeseburger. Were you eating a cheeseburger before you touched my dice? Some bitch smells like a cheeseburger. I can smell the onion on
Greasy,
it.
you've been eating popcorn.
Yeah. All right. So, all throughout time, though, we've got, people who claim that they had this type of kinetic energy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We have a list.
Oh, we have a list.
We have a list.
Yes.
All right. So
All right.
if someone wants to share that list with me,
I will read.
Our lovely listeners.
I'll read.
Okay.
I got this. So, what would it take to prove to mainstream science that psychokinesis is real? Probably it would mean that one indisputable wow case that floors everyone. It would mean evidence that is so obvious it cannot be challenged. Here are some of the most compelling cases we've got so far of people who allegedly use or have used telekinesis and psychokinesis. So first we have Uri Geller. Geller is most noted for his spoon-bending abilities. Unfortunately, his involvement in magic and the theatrical have caused some to question the authenticity of his performances. I'm always suspect of a magician who says, "Oh, I have this ability." Matthew Manning. Having shown an aptitude for automatic writing, Manning also seems to have the ability to affect physical objects. Like Geller, he's alleged to bend metal as well as influence the workings of electrical and mechanical devices. I might have to look into him a little. Mm-hmm. Just cause. We have Ted Sirius. Sirios? I'm going to go with Sirius. It sounds better.
Why so
Sirius.
serious?
Why so serious? Because my name's Ted.
Ted
He
Turner.
became famous for his alleged ability to transfer mental images onto photographic film while intoxicated. Called thoughtography. This ability was heavily debunked by researchers at the time, and Sirius had difficulty reproducing his efforts in a sober state. I mean, there are certain parts of your brain you can only open up when you're drunk, though.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is true.
Some
Yeah,
of us
like
lock
courage.
that shit away.
Like
Yes,
courage.
exactly. Tibetan monks. Some monks in Tibet have the ability to don a wet sheet in freezing cold weather and dry it by using the power of meditation to raise their body temperature. This is perhaps the most interesting example, as it is biologically plausible. In some cases, the monks are able to raise the body temperatures to the point where steam comes off the sheets. I need to learn that.
Okay. See, out of all of these, that's the one that honestly amazes me the most. I mean, that's awesome.
I want to learn that for
Yeah.
drying my socks in the wintertime.
Right?
That's a good idea.
I could have used that at Hell's Bar.
I could have used that all winter long working.
Yeah.
Because it rained every fucking day. Yeah.
Right up until we went on lockdown.
Yes.
That's
All right.
true.
Then there's Martin Caden. Caden was a distinguished aeronautics writer when he began to delve into the world of telekinesis. He claimed to be able to move a psi wheel, which is a device designed to test telekinetic powers at will. And then we have Nina Kulagina. A Russian citizen, Kulagina discovered her ability to use her mind to influence the physical world at a young age. She participated in many research projects under the supervision of Soviet scientists, and most famously stopped a frog's beating heart under controlled lab conditions. Other Russian psychics would follow in her footsteps as the Soviets sought to evolve telekinesis into a possible weapon.
But did she?
That's scary.
frightening.
That's scary.
But did she get the frog's heart beating again?
They don't tell us. I'm going to say probably not.
She killed a frog.
With her
The
mind.
commies don't care.
Yeah. I mean, could you imagine that power? That power I don't want. You know?
That's the
That's-
omnikinesis.
Yeah, that's
You little
pretty
butt.
pretty damn scary.
Plus, I wouldn't use it
Yeah.
unless you pissed me off.
You see that skeleton bird right there? That's what you would do.
That's the Paratalk Listener Award.
That is.
Yeah.
That's scary stuff right there.
That really is. I mean, you know, we watch the movies, you know, and we see all this stuff, you know, like Firestarter, you know, and, you know, you're like, it's freaking awesome. Okay, but that's Hollywood, you know?
Imagine having that ability, just like the Firestarter, pyrokinesis, when you went through puberty.
Oh my-
Imagine how many houses your family would have gone through.
Oh, yeah.
For real.
Yeah. But, you know, campfires would be no problem at all.
Boom.
True, but imagine how many people you would have lit on fire in the hallway without meaning to.
That's true.
And the people I would have lit on fire, meaning to.
There's that
Be
too.
a hit at parties.
Yeah.
For sure. To hell with lighting your fart. I mean,
Right? Hold on.
Watch Tommy's
Boom.
head. All right.
So next we have telekinesis and poltergeist activity.
Very cool. Very cool.
I have long thought about this.
Yeah.
Right? All of the personalities listed above have their advocates and detractors. None can definitively prove the power of the mind over objects or situations, and none can show, without exception, that they can exhibit their powers to the satisfaction of the scientific community. But if this power really exists, what if some of us who are capable or of it are unaware of our ability? This is one hypothesis behind poltergeist activity. Poltergeists are spirits who are said to cause mischief in a specific location by moving objects, causing mysterious sounds, and generally making a nuisance of themselves. Obviously, the existence of these spirits is as tough to prove as any paranormal phenomenon. But some claim there is no ghostly involvement at all, and the shenanigans are all caused by the unwitting psychic intervention of one or more people. It is surmised that children, teens in particular, undergo brief periods of psychic volatility that may cause telekinetic activity they are neither aware of nor can control. This may be something that follows a person for life, as some poltergeists are said to, or it may last a short time as the person goes through a particularly difficult period. It's an interesting idea, but unfortunately, no more provable than the other.
So, I mean, all right, we've been called in to houses, with quote unquote poltergeist activity. Mm-hmm. And most of those houses have had children in the house.
Very true.
And they link poltergeist activity to
Puberty.
It's
all the hormones changing the way your brain and body works.
Right.
And if you get multiple in there, it's like pew, 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 pew. And then you've got poltergeist activity.
That was her stormtrooper impression.
That was.
Yeah.
Pew, 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 pew,
She missed every shot.
Every single shot.
Every single shot. But, I mean, we've been called in and, we've had claims of things sliding off the counter, of, coats coming off coat hooks and hitting the floor.
Pictures, heavy pictures and mirrors coming off the wall and across the room.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yes.
Where was I for these?
It was before you came.
Yeah, it was before you came. But this one, that one that Andrea's speaking of now, the mirror, I mean, it was a full-length mirror. Old mirror.
Heavy duty.
Antique frame. It had the mirror was weathered. It had the spots on it. It was aged. It was an old mirror, and it belonged to this lady's mother or grandmother.
I think it was her grandmother.
Her grandmother. And she was in her 50s.
Yeah.
And it had belonged to her grandmother.
Wow.
And it happened while her grandchild was in the house. And her grandchild, he was a special young man, and he was obsessed with the paranormal, obsessed with it. I mean, she invited us over after, it was probably 2 years after the last investigation. She invited us over for a cookout, and her grandson wanted to meet us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, because he had watched all of our YouTube videos and all this, and he wanted to meet us. And he's sitting there talking to us. I mean, this kid is so in tune with the paranormal. It's scary.
It was kind of shocking because we were just like, I mean, you could just kind of feel it.
Yeah.
When you're around certain people, you can kind of feel some things, and you're like, okay, all right. I mean, he could sense some things. I could see that he could do some things.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
how old is he?
Now
he's probably
18.
Yeah, at least 18 now.
I think he was about 13.
Yeah, 13, 14 years old then.
When we saw him.
I mean, and he loved everything about it. But you could, tell that he had a connection. It wasn't just his love for it. Mm-hmm. You could tell he had some kind of connection there. And so, like, after we left, I mean, it hit us. It was like, what if all of that shit that was going on there
was him?
Him making this stuff happen. I mean, because you'd be sitting next to him and he'd be talking, and you would get chills listening to this little kid talk. And it's just, I don't even have words really to describe it. It was almost unnerving the way you would feel listening to this kid talk.
Well, let's just hope he grows into it and uses his powers for good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He was a good kid.
A very good kid. Very polite kid. But I mean, after we left, we thought about it. What if it was something he did that made, just the frame for the mirror without the glass, because the glass was shattered and gone. Just the frame from the mirror was probably 15 pounds.
Dang.
Yeah.
It was heavy mirror.
And it had the wire.
Yeah. It had the wire on the back of it.
It had
that
to
would hook
lift up.
over
Wow.
what it was attached to the wall with. So,
It was impressive.
Yeah.
Regardless.
And it landed like 6 feet from the wall and shattered all over the floor.
Yeah.
Damn.
Quite impressive.
Yeah, so be it poltergeist or a
Hormones.
Yeah, or a kinetic energy, something made that shit happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very interesting.
So up next, we have the psychokinesis debunked.
And here we go.
Be ready. On the surface, you can't blame hardcore scientists and psychologists for dismissing the idea of psychokinesis out of hand. The theory definitely has a few things working against it. Number 1, high probability of fraud. There was a time when fraudsters would travel around the country and claim to have extraordinary powers. Maybe for a few bucks, they'd let you in on their show. You'd leave amazed, if a little poor, but it was all phony. Unfortunately, even in the 20th century and beyond, many of the most interesting cases have shown a high likelihood of deception. Number 2, paranormal connections. The early connection of telekinesis to the spirit world probably didn't help anything. Of course, now we can logically separate powers of the human mind from the actions of supernatural beings, but for many, it still falls under the same umbrella of paranormal mumbo-jumbo. Particularly...
Hi, Mumbo. I'm Jumbo.
Nice to meet you.
We've got Mumbo and Jumbo in our group. Particularly when combined with things like table tipping and the Ouija board, and the line between science and the supernatural gets pretty blurry.
Okay, pause. Okay, they're calling out in this article, paranormal, saying it's pretty much all mumbo jumbo.
Mm-hmm.
Go into a location with us and sit all fucking night, and some of the most haunted locations in the United States, and then call it mumbo jumbo. When you see shit happens that you can't explain, that you know you have nothing to do with.
I think it's more or less the mumbo jumbo part of the whole paranormal connection of this is it the they're basically saying it's the telekinesis part, like not necessarily the actions themselves happening, the poltergeist activity or something happening. It seems to me that there's more or less saying, it could be the paranormal aspect of telekinesis. The poltergeist parts.
Right.
Being a telekinesis issue, not a poltergeist issue.
Right.
So, but yes. Yeah. Join us sometime.
Again, they talk about table tipping and the Ouija board, and there are a lot of people who don't believe any of that. And we know it works. We know it to be true, but you can't prove that to someone who doesn't believe. Well, they have to see it for themselves.
Right.
They have to experience it.
Believing.
And once again, right here, the line between science and the supernatural gets very blurry when you've got people who are that are willing to pretend to make things, to do the illusion.
Well, there was big money in that.
Exactly.
Back in the Victorian period,
and
there was big money in it.
And I think that is part of why people are so hesitant into believing the paranormal, is because of that. So
there was a lot of money in it back then.
Of course.
And it did depending on which side of the table you're on, it did good things and bad things. It brought the paranormal to the forefront for a lot of people. And then for a lot of people, it really turned them off. It soured people on the idea because they were like, oh, well, it's all just bullshit.
Right. So, number 3, lackluster research. Finally, the research really isn't very compelling. And, frankly, it's quite boring. Who cares if someone can influence the roll of a pair of dice once out of every 1,000 throws? This finding is nearly insignificant statistically
and has little practical
statistically. Does this mean psychokinesis isn't a real phenomenon? That depends on your point of view, of course.
All right.
I got you.
You got that one? All right.
I got it. On into the future.
The future.
The future. Wah, 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 wah. This article has only scratched the surface of psychic phenomenon. Over the decades, researchers have conducted experiments in related fields such as remote viewing, clairvoyance, automatic writing, and telepathy. It all sounds like science fiction, but scientists are only beginning to unravel the true power of the human mind. Who knows what we may find when we finally unlock our full potential. Interesting, too, are advancements of understanding in fields such as quantum mechanics and molecular physics. It seems the more researchers dig, the stranger things get. For instance, we now know it's possible for the same electron to be in 2 places at the same time. If such a thing is possible on a subatomic level, might we see a day when it could be extrapolated to the world at large? Will we have Jedi-like powers someday? Yes, I want it so bad.
Where do I sign up?
Yeah, exactly. Sign me up now. It would be nice to be able to get that remote control without getting off the couch. But the implications go quite a bit further than that. Our entire world would be changed, and the way we communicate, do business, and relate to one another altered forever. I don't think so. I think if just a few of us had it and used it for good, like turning off the light when you're already comfortable in bed.
Exactly.
And certainly, there would be those who use the power for evil, creating a whole new class of psychological warfare between super psychic criminals and the super psychic good guys.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps we ought not to rush too fast into such a future. As curious as we are, maybe the speed at which we're traveling is just about perfect.
You know, and maybe that's the case.
I can see that. You know, I mean, because we know if someone had those powers, they would use it for evil. Because you've got those assholes out there.
Mean people.
There are.
And mean people suck.
Yes. Yes, they do. But
nice people swallow.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Thank you, Steve.
He's not here, but you know he would have said it.
Yes.
Yeah. You know he would. I had to.
Yeah.
Yes. You fill in splendidly.
I know. Except I didn't say it right.
No.
Nice people swallow.
Swaller. Nice people swaller. Mean people suck and nice people swaller. That's how it is.
Where the hell did you crawl out from?
Right?
I don't know. But it's time for us to take a break.
All right.
All right. We'll be right back, guys. And we've got some more cool shit to talk about. See ya.
So many people spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars on that perfect infrared camera, hoping to catch that epic paranormal shot or simply to document their nighttime escapades, only to pair it up with an IR illuminator that gives off a hot spot in the center of the frame and performs subpar for their camera's capabilities. We did the same thing. Let me save you some time and money spent on multiple IR lights with one name, Deadlight. Created from the minds of Josh Bender and Justin Brown, who are also paranormal investigators, the Deadlight is the elite light to add to your camera arsenal. We have tested the Deadlight and illuminated areas up to 300 feet away. Did I mention these lights are built like a tank? super durable, and sturdy construction. Josh builds each deadlight to meet your needs and is in constant contact during the building process, so forget the other lights out there and go straight to the best. You can check out the complete line of deadlights on Facebook at Deadlight LLC. Justin and Josh are constantly exploring new features to add to the deadlights. ETGS will never use another light in the field, simply because nothing else compares. Get your deadlight today and you too can light up the night.
You're listening to Parrot Talk with East Tennessee Ghost Seekers, a new perspective in paranormal talk radio. You're listening to Parrot Talk. If you have a question or an experience to share, email us at etgsparrowtalk@gmail.com or call 865-264-0448. And now, back to Parrot Talk.
Okay, we are back. Part 2 to episode 65.
65.
On Friday.
Friday.
All right.
Friday.
Yeah.
Friday.
Shit.
Yay!
Oh my God. So, now we're going to take it to a different little spot. Now we did our main topic for the night. And this week, we are implementing a new weekly discussion. Not really discussion, but a new weekly section to Parrot Talk.
I like it.
It's a good one. Yeah. So, this week, for the first time.
That's right, Adam. That's right. 4 more.
Yes.
And it's 69, dude.
Right. Episode 69 coming up in 3 weeks.
We better have a full house for that.
Oh, we better.
Seriously,
Yeah.
come on, guys.
Yeah, invite your friends. All right.
Spread the word.
Our new weekly
And
feature.
your legs.
Today,
Amy. Oh my God. I think it's that seat.
It's this chair.
It's the
It's
chair.
gotta be the chair, man.
Steve has tainted that chair with his taint.
Ew!
Oh my
You
gosh.
sit in that chair and you become the almighty perv. Today's
I
word.
am the almighty perv.
Today's word is legs. Start spreading the word. All right. Now back
Oh my
to some
God.
somewhat seriousness.
Somewhat.
Somewhat. I mean,
Maybe.
if they listen to
know.
more than one episode, or if this is their first time, they've already figured out.
I
we're
apologize.
not- no.
We ain't
Not
right.
really, but
No, wait.
this
shh.
is us.
Yeah, this is how the podcast goes. You know, we put a disclaimer
That's
that
true.
it's not kid friendly, and we're not going to be dull and be boring and just read these articles. We're going to put in our 2 cents, and sometimes it may piss some people off. Sometimes it may be funny. Sometimes it may just be ridiculous.
Sometimes it makes you horny.
Maybe. Sure.
69. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Something about the legs. I don't know.
Today's word, legs.
Legs.
Start spreading them. But so this week
Andrea's feeling real good down there.
she is. She's probably got that can going.
No, still got some.
This is just me high on life.
Yeah, me too.
I know.
All right. So new feature this week. I read it. Stories from Reddit. All right. So, we've got stories from Reddit. I love Reddit.
I do too.
I look on Reddit for anything from stories for the podcast to video games to people's reviews on techie shit. I mean, it's as good as YouTube.
It really is.
But you have to
read it.
But you have to read it. That's why this section's called
I read
it.
I read it on Reddit.
I read it.
I read it on Reddit.
All right.
This one kind of scares me a little bit when you get to the end of it.
It's a good one.
It is a good one.
So this first one is, the first few are people's own paranormal experiences. So, all right. Someone take the first one.
I've got it.
Hold on. Before we get to this story.
Yes.
Before we get
Tell
to
us
this
a story, Steve.
I can't.
Okay, I will.
Okay. So this first story.
He could read it well enough to respond.
Yeah. Well,
Seems to me there's something a little bit iffy about his power of sight.
it comes and goes, Amy. It comes and goes.
There's a lot of things iffy about this man.
Wait,
You should
what?
know that.
Wait, what? What the fuck was that about?
I've known that for years.
Right?
Many years.
All right.
Because we're old.
Yeah.
And you're young.
Yeah. It happens.
Baby.
I just got a year older, so
Oh, shut up.
And happy birthday.
You're still a baby.
thank you.
Yeah. All right. So this first story, it actually comes straight from the chat room from Gretchen9. And thank you, Gretchen, for communicating with us all evening. She's been in the chat room, putting in her 2 cents with just about everything we've been talking about. And that is so appreciated. We love it when
Thank
people
you.
jump in the chat room and talk. And this is why we do this. This is why we do the live stream. So,
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Love it.
So Gretchen says, me and a friend went to a sports bar that was haunted. We could feel their energy while in the bathroom. In my friend's mind, she could see there were 3 children dressed in 1800s clothing. After a couple of weeks, I was at my friend's house and we could hear little footsteps running upstairs back and forth. We went up to investigate and my friend said, here are the same 3 children from the sports bar where we were at. Through prayer, we helped them cross over. My friend could see in her mind a porthole. A vortex opened, and all 3 children crossed. It was very beautiful and emotional experience.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. And that's what it's about.
Right, yeah.
Especially when there's children involved, if you can lend a hand to help them cross over, jump in there and do that,
Yep.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay. And thank you, Gretchen, for your story.
Yes, thank you.
And-
Thanks for sharing, Gretchen.
And all of you other listeners, any stories that you have, it doesn't have to be dealing with what we're talking about at the moment.
No.
Submit your
Anything.
stories and we will read them on the air. And if you want to call in with your stories, feel free. So, all right. First story from I Read It.
All right. This one was posted by No Afime. And it's titled, I Live with a Spirit or Ghost. So this isn't anything scary, just thought it would be fun to share. There's a spirit of a little girl, probably about 10, living in my house. To my knowledge, nobody has ever died in my house, so I'm not too sure where she came from. Every once in a while, I'll hear her whisper my name, or she'll close my door or knock something off my shelf. All around, she just messes with me and my family, but mostly stays down in the basement with me. She's nice. If I'm having a bad day or something and she starts to mess around with stuff, I just ask her not to and she stops. She really likes to mess with me when I'm listening to scary stories or something. She gets me pretty scared sometimes. My sister has had encounters with her too, but not as frequently as me. I came upstairs one day to my sister complaining to my mom that there's a ghost in our house, and my mom told her, no, there's not. The wind probably just blows things off your shelf. And as I walked past them, I said, don't worry, she's nice. And they both looked at me like I was insane. It was funny. This is the scary part. I've been considering using a Ouija board to try and talk to her more directly, but a part of me is scared to do it alone. I don't want to accidentally piss off or summon a mean spirit. Do not play with a board.
Yeah.
It's
No.
not a toy.
No, it's a tool. It is not a toy.
Do not do that.
Yeah.
Unless you have some sort of experience. And by experience, I don't mean you bought it last week and cracked the box open.
Yeah.
Do
Or
not play
YouTubed
with a Ouija
anything.
board.
Yeah, or YouTubed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's frightening. That's a bad way to go. It's bad things. Bad things.
You know,
You're an idiot.
sometimes I actually wonder if you actually read these stories before you pick them out.
I do.
Do you ever comment on any of these?
No, I don't. Because I want to comment here.
Well,
Okay, I'm lying. No, there have been a couple that I've commented on.
and have you caught anything that you're like, oh, hell no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure that, you know, we're not like talking blindly to these people that aren't actually listening.
Yeah. No, I've commented on a few of them. Some of them I'm just like, I can tell they're making shit up, so I don't comment on it.
Right.
Right.
I'm not wasting my time.
Right.
But
when it comes to something like that, it's like, please don't, no.
yeah.
No.
So this next story is from Savage Hybrid 29,
Ooh.
titled, What is she? What happened? So this happened to me this morning. I have to be at work super early, so my alarm wakes me up every day at 4:45 a.m. I'm a huge procrastinator, so I also have a second alarm set for 5. That's me.
Wow. Super early. I wish I could sleep into 4:45 a.m. God. Sorry.
Quit your bitching.
Right? Well, as usual, my 4:45 alarm went off. I picked my phone up off the bedside table and turned it off. I laid back down and closed my eyes. I had a dream, not sure if I can even call it this, that I was in the bathroom, on the toilet and playing around on my phone. Don't judge me. I'm sure I'm not the only one. LOL.
You're not.
This wasn't the bathroom in my house, though. For some reason, the door opened outward, like if you were going into the bathroom. You'd have to pull the door open instead of pushing it open. Well, the door was open, outward, and there's a wall behind the door, so the door was touching the wall, creating a small space between the wall and door. Out of nowhere, a little girl appears behind the door. She's laughing, and as I am about to yell to her to go away, my lips and voice get paralyzed. She continues laughing and says, "It's me." I'm still struggling to speak, and I'm beginning to try to yell my fiance's name. I still can't speak or even move my lips. My fiance wakes me up and asks me what's wrong. And I struggled the same as I did in the dream at first, but I finally spoke, but only said her name. Then I asked her if I was talking in my sleep. She told me I sounded like I was struggling to speak. I looked over at my phone, and the time was only 4:42. Only 7 minutes had gone by. How could I have had a nightmare in 7 minutes? I wouldn't be so creeped out by this, but I've posted in the past that I dreamed of seeing a little girl in my apartment 2 years ago. A different place than where I live now. She was a shadow figure, but obviously a girl. It looked like she wore a dress. This time, I saw her. She looked normal, like a real little girl, and her laugh petrified me. I was still scared when I woke up. I've seen her at my job too, in shadow form. That time I was fully awake when I saw her. Is it possible for shadow people to travel through multiple states from dreams to reality? Am I crazy? Is it even possible for me to have dreamed that in 7 minutes?
Yes to all of those.
Yes.
I mean, because, the dream especially, dreams can
Actually seem forever, but they can literally take seconds.
I mean, following you from state to state. Yes. Our investigation at Morse Mill Motel in Morse Mill, Missouri. Something followed Steve from Morse Mill, Missouri to Tennessee, 700 and something miles away. And
It just hitched a ride.
yeah. Well, this thing, I mean, it did more than hitch a ride. But, I mean,
It hits a person?
yeah. But, I mean, Yeah, so that can happen. It can follow you from state to state. It can, and your dream, yes, can seem like it's forever long and only take a couple seconds to actually have that dream.
And it really does kind of sound like there was a bit of sleep paralysis there.
Yeah. But am I crazy? No. No, you're not crazy. Stranger things have happened. Stranger things will continue to happen. Mm-hmm. And that's
Figure
just
out
the nature
the best
of the
way
beast.
to deal with it for you. If you want to get rid of it, you look for help.
Give us a call.
Yeah.
We'll exterminate your ghosts.
We will. Kind of like the Ghostbusters.
Without the mess that they created.
Yeah, they do create kind of a mess.
Yeah. But
we don't really deal with goo either.
next story.
What?
Nothing. We don't really deal with goo either.
Yeah. Goo.
Do you see what seat she's sitting in?
Shit.
I know you meant ectoplasm.
Move.
Yeah.
Move. You need to move seats.
No, not going to happen.
Oh,
Not going to happen.
dang it. He has tainted Amy.
With his taint juice.
Oh my gosh.
He's so going to have to listen to this episode.
Oh my gosh.
He'll be so proud of you.
Taint juice. That just makes me think of pimples in areas they don't need to be.
Okay, that's gross. That's gross.
La 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 la. Not listening.
All right, Amy, share the next story with us.
Okay. Just so long as we stop talking about Steve's taint.
We've stopped.
Please,
For now.
God. Please, God.
You know, he's the only one that's been talking about it.
Does someone need a hug?
It's true. He's the only one that's been... You are the only one that's been talking about Steve's taint.
Are you missing it or something?
No. God.
I love lamp.
He so misses it.
No.
What is wrong with my husband?
Nothing. She's sitting
We
in
love
his
him
seat.
anyway.
She's sitting in his seat where the only part of his body that comes in contact with it is his ass.
He doesn't have an ass. He suffers from no ass at all.
Yeah.
That is true.
It runs in our brother from another mother family.
Okay.
And continue.
Yeah.
All right. This is going to be My Creepy Kid Experience by Faded Cade. New to the subreddit, so I figured I'd share what was most of my childhood. When I was younger, I would say and point this out that kind of freaked my parents out. That doesn't make much sense. I'm sorry. I just had my brain was trying to make sense of the words. So when I was younger, I would point this out and say things to my parents that kind of freaked them out. My mother, even going so far as to make her sister stay with her when my father wasn't home. I'll just categorize these things by experiences and go from there. When I was about 5 to 6, my grandmother was going through old books to clean out, Sunday dinner and all. I pointed to one of the big family reunion pictures and went, "Look, it's Papa." For the record, my mother hates the name Papa and was confused when I called someone that. The man I pointed to was a great uncle who died only a few months after I was born, so I don't even remember meeting him, and I'm not sure if I even did. But that's just experience 1. Somewhere between 6 and 7, leaning more on that 7 side, my grandmother had gone out to get groceries, and I was dragged with. We stopped to get food, and that was that. When we were unloading things, I said, "Why is that man crying?" before pointing to her garden and... this makes... okay, before pointing to her garden... and a path with a bunch of trees. She asked me what man, where I continued. The man in the garden, someone stole his hammer. I have no clue who this man was, but my grandmother was having none of it and just led me inside and distracted me with food. Not sure what that was about, but yeah. The only other experience that I can say wasn't my anxiety was when I was 8 and I was sleeping with my parents and saw the whole ceiling turn black. So, hope y'all enjoyed. LOL. Well, I didn't enjoy your bad grammar.
Yeah. Yeah. See,
It's the story that counts.
The stories were good.
The stories were good.
It was, yeah. I mean, most little kids see things and know things, and then they're taught not to. But the grammar was atrocious.
Yeah.
I remember when Xander was probably about 3 or 4, and we were looking through pictures and came across a picture of my grandfather who had passed back in in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And he just looked at him and he's like, "Oh, Papa." And I was like, "Yep, that's Papa." And there's a lot of kids who would just see an old person and be like, "Mama, Papa," or
right.
"Nanny," or whatever. Mm-hmm. He wasn't one of those. He wouldn't call random. He just never was.
Right.
I mean, he knew. And plus, I mean, my parents have specific grandparents' names, and my grandparents, his great-grandparents, have specific grandparent names, but all of my grandparents were always Mama and Papa.
Right.
So he knows my mom and dad as Nani and Poppy, and Mama and Papa, Yeah. So there was no other Papa in his life. And he saw that picture and was like, Papa.
Well, that's like when my papa died. Matt, my little nephew, he was maybe 3 or 4 when papa died. And my niece, his older sister, Tracy, she had this little play Barbie phone. And he was sitting there talking on the phone, jabbering one day. And my sister walks in and she's like, "Who are you talking to?" And he's like, "Papa." And she goes, "Well, what's Papa saying?" And Matt had said something and then called my sister a name that only Papa called her.
Wow.
Yeah. My sister threw the phone away. She's like,
Screw
"I'm
that.
done. I don't want it in my house." She said, well, shortly after that, before she threw it away, she was in the house. She was there by herself, and the phone was sitting over on the counter, and it started ringing. And she's like, "Nah, fuck that. It's gone."
That was one of the scarier scenes in Poltergeist, too. So yeah, I can understand.
Yeah.
And from everything you've told me about that house, I can totally understand.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I still want to go check it out.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to find out if they still have stuff going on in there or not. I'm sure they do, because it's the land. There's always going to be something going on there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next story.
All right. This story is titled, "Can any investigators answer a technical question?"
Why, yes, we can.
Absolutely, shining star in New York. Okay. I was shown a video taken with a night vision camera of a mist manifesting. The mist came into the room being monitored through a doorway from a room that did not have a camera. To me, the mist looked the right height and followed a path that I would expect from an exhaled smoke. It came into frame in a straight line and curled up in a circle. This is a non-smoking location that the owner is present during the investigation, so I really don't think it is a cigarette or vape. My question is, if someone uses a prescription puffer, like for asthma, would the exhale show up on night vision? I do trust the person who showed me the evidence and don't think that it was intentionally faked, but without audio to hear if someone was off camera and no video of the other side of the doorway, I am wondering if it could have been an honest mistake. I don't have any night vision cameras to check it myself, so if anyone can help, I would appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time to read my post.
So no.
Yeah. See, I'm thinking that if you were to hit your puffer and, you have to hold it in for 10 seconds or something like that, 10, 15 seconds.
It would actually
dissipate.
absorb into your lungs. That's what it does. So any exhale would be very minimal.
Yeah, even if you don't hold your breath and just hit that puffer and exhale, there's only
very little
fine mist that comes out.
I'm not thinking enough to make a path out of the mouth.
A direct type of pattern,
No, because what comes out is it's water droplets and it comes out and goes down.
Right.
Like a fine mist.
Right.
It might clear your body if you're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
But to go in a straight line and curl up in a circle.
Yeah, not so much. Not so much. I mean, I would be willing to test that, just to see.
Yeah.
Because we do have several night vision cameras, and we have
tons
puffers.
of inhalers.
Yes, we have inhalers because Xander has asthma or had asthma.
We'll borrow one of his inhalers.
Yeah, and we'll conduct that test, and we'll let you know. So, yeah, I mean that's a very good question. I mean, he's doing the right thing by playing skeptic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not just being like, oh, it's paranormal.
Right.
Yeah.
Good to ask questions.
Yes. Question everything. Mm-hmm. I'm a true believer.
And that goes for life as well.
Yeah.
Right. Question
everything.
Yeah. Question authority and everything else.
That's exactly right. I mean, I'm a true believer in the paranormal. From all of my experiences. I've been doing this since 2001. And I've had experiences since I was 7 years old, and I'm not a spring chicken anymore. Andrea likes to remind me of that.
No. I am not the one that reminds you of that.
Oh yeah, it's Steve, isn't it?
No, it's Xander.
Well,
he reminds everybody that they're old.
All teenagers do that.
But I mean, I'm not. So, but I question everything that is brought to me by any member of the team. Mm-hmm. And I make you guys question everything that I bring.
That's right.
I mean, you can't look at something like, oh shit, I don't know what it is. It's paranormal.
Well, no, and that's kind of the joy of having the team is that you have not one set, not two sets. You have upwards of 7, sometimes you have upwards of 10 people looking at this, the same thing. And if you go into showing the, whatever piece of evidence you have and saying, what do you see?
Yeah. Don't tell them what you see.
What do you see? Instead of, do you see this? Do you see this? Do you see this? Mm-hmm. Don't put that in anybody's mind. Yeah. You ask them what they see, then they can give you their opinion on it.
Yeah. Just like same with EVPs,
Exactly.
Yeah.
They'll say, hey, I heard it say I'm in the closet, and so
It said Zach.
It said Zach Baggins. Oh my God!
It said Aaron, go down to the dungeon.
Yeah, I still like mine. The orb that flew out of Nick's mouth and flew out of Aaron's ass into Nick's mouth, and he started talking shit.
Yeah,
that's where I was going. Yeah. But yeah, I mean that's a great question, and actually I will conduct that test and see if that actually happens.
Yes.
So, and we'll post that onto our Facebook page.
Heck yeah!
So, be looking for that. We'll get that done by the next podcast.
Awesome. So. All right. The next one is by Dongle Master.
That's what they called me in high school.
I'm the Dongle Master.
Not going to touch that one with a 10-foot pole. Nope. Not going to touch that one.
I mean, that person's a Dongle Master.
Yeah, well, he said that was his nickname in high school.
I said that was my nickname in high school.
I can't touch that one. Anyway, we're just going to bypass that one.
Yeah.
Move along.
Move on with the story.
Move on with the story. And it is
Or
titled,
it's actually a question, yeah.
Why 3 knocks? And the question is, okay, so I was just in my room playing a game. It was around 2:30 a.m. Now it's 3:10. I heard 3 knocks at my window. Thought, fuck that. So I went into the living room since that's where my mom sleeps. She broke her ankle and has to sleep on the couch. That's a bummer. This happened before. I was playing games and 3 fucking knocks. I have had a really bad past with ghosts, and I really want my family and pets to be safe. I know that 3 a.m. stuff, and I don't know what to believe. My mom said it was probably just our goats, but they are most likely asleep. I'm creeped the fuck out, and I need answers. Anything helps.
I have questions. I don't want to be judgmental or anything, but you're up at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning playing video games, living at your mom's house,
Okay.
and you say the F-bomb a lot. How old are you?
Probably the same age as Xander.
Yeah, well, at least he doesn't say the F-bomb around me.
Well, he's not saying it around his mom. He's typing it.
And that's fine.
Yeah. But, okay, so the 3 knocks
Look,
thing.
Mom.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's right. I'm a mom.
Yeah.
So am I, but kids will be kids, and they will say what they say.
I am
Hey.
criticizing this particular person,
Hey.
y'all.
Drink your alcoholic beverage.
I have been.
Okay. Well,
I'm sorry. I was just asking
I mean,
questions based
let's-
on their question.
Let's be for real.
I am.
I have a potty mouth.
yeah. I may have one.
I definitely fucking have a potty mouth.
Yeah.
I have a G-rated potty mouth.
She really does.
She really does. It's so sweet. I'm not sure how we're family. I mean,
I don't know.
she's Mary Poppins and
Yeah,
I'm Cruella.
That's funny right there.
All right. Well, let's get to his question. The
All
3
right.
knocks things. Okay. So 3 knocks, there's a strong belief that it's a mockery of the Trinity. But I also have to think when I go to someone's house and I want to come in, I knock. I don't knock twice. No.
It is usually
It's 3 knocks.
It's usually 3 knocks.
Yeah. Or you
4.
do the little dun 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 dun. You do the shave and a haircut deal.
Yeah.
But you never knock twice.
sometimes 4.
Yeah. No, like penny, 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 penny. Yeah. Even Sheldon did it, Andrea.
It's true.
Even
That's
Sheldon
true.
did it.
That is very true.
But
very
okay,
true.
so yeah, 3 knocks. If you're freaked out by the whole, 3 a.m. thing and you believe everything you read and you see in these horror movies, yeah, 3 knocks is going to scare the shit out of you. But if you think about it, if this spirit is trying to come into your house, if they think that they're still alive and they're coming to knock on your door, they probably have no sense of time,
True.
where they're at. It may be 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, and another thing, once again, the whole investigating in the middle of the night and things happening at 3 a.m., it's because it's freaking quiet.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
It's quiet. The
at
world
3
is
a.m.
quiet at 3 a.m. You're going to notice things out of the ordinary at 3 a.m. because things don't happen at 3 a.m.
It could just be his neighbor fucking with him too.
That's
It could
true.
be. Yeah.
I
Could
would.
be.
I mean, if you're
especially if I knew he was freaked out already.
If you're
Exactly.
some
Yeah.
like freaky teenager that's playing video games 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you got a neighbor who's like, let's see what he does now.
Yeah.
Run it up
Yeah.
and bolting. Yeah, I mean, hello.
Yeah.
I would have started by scratching on the screen then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah.
Do that next time, neighbor.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be something evil. I mean,
No.
if
It's probably just getting your attention.
yeah. And
More than likely. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, everything's much quieter and you're actually hearing it. In the afternoon, you're probably got the radio on or whatever
Exactly.
else,
Yeah.
and you're just not hearing it.
Because I guarantee you, if it's spirit activity, it's happening during the day too.
That's
Or,
exactly right.
you know, if it bothers you that something is knocking at 3 a.m., go to bed.
Truth bomb.
All right. Okay. Next story.
All right. This story is by Moody Molly.
I like her already.
I do too. Titled Imaginary Friend. True story. I was around 3 and my sister was 6. We slept in the same room on bunk beds. Every night my sister would knock on the wall and say, "Good night, Toady." You see, Toady was her imaginary friend and he lived in the walls and he would play with my sister. One day, my sister's teddy bears were all over the bedroom floor, and my dad came in and told my sister to pick up her toys, and she said to my dad, "No, Dad, it wasn't me. It was Toady." My dad just brushed it off, not thinking anything of it. But it went on for quite some time. When my dad would give out to my sister, she would just blame it on Toady. So one day, my dad went to my granddad's house and asked him, did he know a Toady? And my granddad got up from his chair and went to his room and brought up a black and white picture. And he left it on the table without saying anything. And my sister came in from playing and walked over to the table and pointed at the picture and said, "That's Toady." And my granddad said to my dad that Toady was his uncle, who died when he was 18 out at sea. Toady was a fisherman, and he was 7 foot tall, had a long beard, and a big black coat. One day he was out at sea, and it was a stormy night, and he fell overboard, and he was never found. My granddad said that when a baby is born from our side of the family, he looks after them, then leaves to watch over the next child.
Very cool story.
Very cool.
Very cool story. And that goes along with, the, children being able to see things that we can't, And, that's just like my very first paranormal experience that I've told many, many, many times on here, about my great-grandfather coming and sitting on my bed when I was 7 years old, patting me on my leg, smiling at me, and get up and walking out of the room. Scared the piss out of me.
I bet it did.
I ran and jumped in bed with Mama and Papa. I slept there for about 3 months. So, yeah.
No, they love that.
Oh, I'm sure they did. Yeah. All right. Last story.
All right. This is by Lotus Night Splash.
I like that name.
That is a superhero name if I've ever heard one.
I'm sorry, I was thinking it was like, one of those body sprays. It was like a Calgon.
Okay, maybe it's a stripper name.
New from Axe, Lotus Night Splash.
I don't know. The stripper name was pretty good too.
Welcome to the stage,
Lotus Night Splash. Get your ones ready, ladies and gentlemen. All right. This one is titled Honest Haunting, and Steve is losing it over here. They're both losing it. For a change, it's not me.
I was thinking, don't stare into that flowery asshole.
Don't look at the brown starfish.
That's not a chocolate starfish. That's a lotus, whatever
Night
it was.
splash.
Night splash.
Oh, my God.
My face hurt.
We're all wrong.
So wrong.
But I don't want to be right.
That's right. All right.
Okay. It's titled Honest Haunting. On a particular dark, stormy night, it was bitter cold outside. I laid in my bed after the long shift that day. When I get home after my shifts, I usually get into something comfy and watch TV. While I was watching TV, I heard knocks on the door. When I didn't answer it, I heard my sister's voice. When I opened it, she came in tired. As soon as Clover ran beside her, I saw that she was shaking and barking at something.
Okay, so I guess Clover is the dog.
I'm assuming
Yes.
Clover is the dog. He was shaking and barking at someone or something. The next few weeks, I called my sister saying, "Kate, there's something here." Of course, she believed me. We had investigators investigate, and we moved because there were spirits there.
That was the longest short story ever.
It really was. It really was.
There was a lot in that story that's
just not in the story.
Isn't there?
They condensed so well.
There's a lot in that story that's not in the story.
So much that it doesn't make sense.
Yes. But thank
Except
you.
that the investigators investigated.
Yeah, the investigators
And they
investigated
moved
and they moved because
of
they're
that.
spirits. Yes.
I mean, that's impressive. That was, hey, Lotus, Night Splash.
Welcome to the stage.
I just don't understand why people move. And I mean, maybe if you're having a really bad experience and you can't get it to quell.
If it's something violent, I can see that. But something knocking, yeah.
Okay, but here's a thought. Say you have some violent activity going on in your house. It's freaking you out. You've had people there saying, here, ghosty, 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 let's get you out of here. And they don't leave, so you're like, all right, we're out. You move
It's
to this.
going to follow you.
Yeah.
You move to the next house. What's going to happen? It's going to follow you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean-
sometimes it doesn't actually help to move, and you're just kind of wasting money.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's like, the story Mandy shared with us when she called in way back. You can listen to that one on, I think it was Mandy and the Dog-Faced Girl is
Yeah,
the
I
name of
think
the
so.
episode. But, it's, she moved thinking that she's going to get away from it. And
Is this Mandy?
Mandy,
Yes.
Mandy from
Okay.
Vodka and
No,
Ghost.
not cousin.
Oh,
Mandy.
okay.
No, Mandy from Vodka and Ghost and from Twat Did You Say?
Ah,
Yeah. But
what did you say?
what did you say? Yeah. Sean says, "Ghosts follow you?" Question mark.
Yes, they can.
Yes, they can. Yeah. But she moved because of all the shit going on, and as soon as they got to the new house, they were unloading their stuff, and her kid pointed out something that no one else could see.
Yep.
So,
And unfortunately, and I think that there's been several people that have taken that step to try to outrun a spirit, and it's not worked. When
they're on a different plane than we are. You're
They
not going to
are.
outrun them.
And at that point, you've got to realize,
But you can evict them
You
sometimes.
Sometimes
can evict
you
them,
can.
Yes.
and they have to realize that it's not necessarily. It doesn't have to be the place. It can be
Sometimes it's
the
the people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, yeah, sometimes you can't run from yourself.
No.
And if you're in the house and they're attached to you, chances are.
I mean, what if they're attached to your toaster and you just keep taking it with you every time
Exactly, man. I mean, and honestly, like, what is it? The Haunted Collector?
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't have like an old piece of, something in their house?
Yep.
Something they've, taken from, or, got down from grandparents, aunts, uncles, yard sales, antique stores, whatever.
move? Found it on the side of the road.
Exactly. Garbage dumps, whatever. Anything can be attached to anything.
Yep.
So
we have haunted objects here.
we do.
That we've removed from houses during investigations. And if we ever do move from here, they're going with us.
Well, I mean,
They're family
we're
now.
used to them.
They're family now.
I mean, they're out in the garage, but
Well,
I
they're
mean,
here.
sometimes that's where you want your family to
That's
stay.
exactly
That's
right,
true.
yeah.
That is very true.
but yeah. So
I got some family members I'd like to put in somebody else's garage.
Right?
in a different state.
Yes.
Yeah, so if anybody has a garage out there they want to offer up for some family members to sleep in, give us a holler.
Yeah. We'll ship them there.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are just
This-
over 2 hours, and
This
all
was
is
great,
well.
guys. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We've
Yeah.
enjoyed having all of you
And for your
with us.
input and your questions.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
your
and-
story,
Awesome.
Gretchen. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
Thank you, Gretchen.
Yeah,
And
Gretchen
Hockey
was in
Man,
there.
Hockey Man, thank you for, representing the ETGS at your poker game.
Yes.
Hope you win some big monies.
And you can, if you do, buy more shirts.
There you go.
There you go.
And speaking of which, we still have the store going on. It's going to be going on forever.
Yes.
But
And
you-
there will be a
out.
new shirt coming soon that
Yes,
says,
there-
I'm with stupid.
yes. but
He's so going to do that.
but
I love it.
we have all kinds of apparel on there and coffee mugs and all
It
this.
should be a ghost. pointing up.
Oh,
Yes.
snap.
Yeah. Oh, we've
Look
got
at that.
it. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming to the store. But if
We
you
have
order
shirts, yoga
between now,
pants.
if you order between now and July 1st, enter the coupon code listeners20.
Is it listener or listeners?
Listener 20.
Singular listener.
Listener. God, I can't spell right now.
Listener.
Listener.
Tweenie.
Listener.
Okay, that doesn't even look right. Listener.
Yeah, that's how you spell
That's how you spell it.
I'm having all caps. It looks
Yeah.
weird.
it.
Yes.
Listener.
Yeah.
Listener 20.
Thank you,
Yes.
Sean.
Yes. Listener 20. All caps 20. And you'll get 20% off your order. So, and that's good until July 1st.
We've been laughing at her all night, Sean. We
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Seriously, though, I mean, look at it. It's just kind of like, it looks weird, especially in all caps.
Yeah. It looks
Have
like
you ever
listener
looked at a
20.
word so many times and you're like, okay, that is not the right
Yes.
spelling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
That's just human nature.
It is.
Yeah. But
What
And-
was the
and-
word the other day? Hello. You were writing hello. I don't know how many times. For some reason, it was hello. And you were like, why does that look weird?
no, it wasn't hello. It was something else.
I thought that-
no.
Then it was Xander.
Yeah. That must
See,
have been
thank you,
Xander.
Sean. Sean agrees it looks weird.
Well,
Appreciate you, man.
That's how you spell it. And that's the coupon code. So go use it and save 20% off on a cool shirt that I have designed that is on our store.
We have-
links are available on the Paratalk podcast with East Tennessee Ghost Seekers page on Facebook and on the East Tennessee Ghost Seekers Facebook page.
And just so you all know, there is East Tennessee Ghost Seeker apparel. There's Paratalk apparel, but there's apparel that has like no
Nothing to
necessary,
do with
no
us.
affiliation. It's just really cool stuff.
There's t-shirts. There's tank tops. There's yogurt pants.
There's there's Bigfoot shirts,
yeah.
alien shirts.
There's shirts that say
No bandanas, though.
I am haunted.
Damn it.
There's
We have to
shirts.
sell more before we can get the bandanas.
And, you know, I created all these shirts.
You did. You've
But
done an amazing job.
Thank you. One of my favorites, though, is the one that says, I think I just EVP'd.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah, that
I
one.
love that one.
And the other one, something about when I die, I'm going to come back and haunt everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a ton of really
There-
cool
yeah,
things.
there's
There's a
lots of cool
shirt that
shirts
has
on there,
the
so.
word paranormal and then the definition of it. It just looks really cool. I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
I am
there's
haunted.
tons of really cool. There's
Paranormal is
ton
my
of cool
normal.
gear. Yes,
Yeah.
paranormal is my normal. There's a ton of cool gear
Oh, and a really cool Ouija board shirt that I designed. So,
and a tapestry
and a tapestry. Yeah.
and a
There's-
pillow.
Yep. Pillows. Who doesn't
I
want
want all of it.
Who doesn't
I want it
want
all.
a Ouija board pillow?
Just don't
And
play
the-
on it.
Sleep on it.
Sleep on it.
Yeah.
Just don't play.
And then you can cover up with the Ouija board throw.
There you go.
So,
I want it all.
yes, I do too. All right.
Thank you.
When I win the lottery, I'm going to have one of everything.
Me too.
Good.
I'm so gonna buy
Good.
everything.
So everything will all be, it'll all be
Yep.
Steven's apparel
go.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I like
all
that.
the time.
I like
Love
that.
it.
I like that. All right, guys.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, everyone.
Need to
for
put you some
listening.
paranormal panties on there.
Oh my gosh.
Some boo bloomers.
Sean, we hope you can join us again for the full show next week. Hopefully, we'll get you back on next
Yes, Sean.
Friday.
Thank you for tuning
8 p.m. Eastern time on Friday.
in. Yeah, every Friday. Well, most Fridays. I'm not going to say every Friday. Most Fridays.
Generally on Fridays.
Yes. And different topic every week. And except for our new feature that just premiered tonight, I read it.
I read it.
I
All
read
right.
it.
Okay,
Steven
guys.
didn't read any of
He
it.
didn't read nothing.
I read it when I pulled it to put it into the
no,
pod notes.
he skimmed it.
No, I read it when I pulled it to put it in the pod notes.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
That's fair.
Yes.
Whatever.
All right, guys. Until next week. Oh, real quick. If you guys listen to us on Apple Podcast, please be sure and give us a review. It helps us move up in the line so people can find us when they're looking for a paranormal podcast. And if you listen on Podbean or Stitcher or whatever, just be sure to subscribe and like the episodes. And you can comment.
Us, rate us.
And you can comment on all the episodes. And that helps us. And it lets us know that you're listening. So.
And we appreciate that.
We
and
totally
we
do.
love you.
Totally do. And Andrea is buzzing.
Just a little bit.
No.
She's got permagrin.
All right, guys. Until next week, I'm Steven.
I'm Andrea.
And I'm Amy.
You guys have been listening to Paratalk, and as always, stay spooky, my friends.
And that's all, folks.
You've been listening to Paratalk with the East Tennessee Ghost Seekers. If you have a question or comment about the show you've just heard, or you have an experience to share, or you need to contact us concerning an investigation, feel free to email us at etgsparatalk@gmail.com or call 865-264-0448. That's 865-264-0448. We invite you to find and like the East Tennessee Ghost Seekers on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and visit us online at easttnghostseekers.org. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time on Paratalk.